Hello, everybody. Today, I just want to go over real quickly, just a few Blade Show tips that I have for you guys, um, especially for the ones that this is their first time going. Um, if you've gone to a few Blade shows, you probably already know what I'm going to say. But if you haven't gone to any Blade show, I would recommend that you watch the video all the way through because I have a couple tips that are going to make your experience better. At least they did for me when I started applying these tips. So let's get right into it. Number one, bring some sort of backpack, some sort of um, bag, I guess you could say. Uh, our first year, mine and my brother's first year going, we didn't have any kind of bag, nothing. And it was rough because if you buy something, I mean, they'll give out plastic bags, um, even those kind of cardboard paper bags, with the handles on them. They'll give out some of those when you buy stuff, but you don't want to tote those around the entire show, or at least until you get back to your hotel that evening. So I would recommend having some kind of bag. Now, my brother had just a little sling bag on the first trip, and that did okay, but he needed something a little bit bigger. And so the next trip he went on, he brought a backpack, and that did great, except for to him, it got a little heavy because he bought a lot of stuff. I don't know, I'll explain why in a minute. So it got heavy, so he just used one of those like sportsy ones. They're a backpack with like the strings, and when you cinch them up, they cinch up at the top and kind of form like a triangle, and it's just like strings coming over your shoulder, if you know what I mean. Um, and that worked out great for him as well because you're going to get stuff for free too, like little patches and little stickers and things like that. And so you're going to want a place to put them. So I would recommend bringing some sort of backpack, some sort of bag or backpack. Number two, I would recommend some form of water bottle. Now they have little cups. There's just one station. At least last time we went, they had cups that you could take, and then you could go fill up water. But it was an empty cup with no lid. Um, so I would recommend having something that has a lid, a closable lid. Just a water bottle in general. They have stations around the show where you can fill up water, but you're going to be walking all day, standing all day, walking all day. You're going to need something to keep you hydrated because if you're dehydrated, that's just going to ruin your trip. And so you're gonna want to have some water. Typically, you could put your water bottle in your backpack, but it would be smart to have a system on it. Maybe you made one out of paracord, or you buy something, or the lid has a loop on it. That way, you can attach it maybe to your belt loop with a carabiner, or to your backpack if you don't have a spot to put your water bottle. So there's that. Number two, bring a water bottle, something to drink out of. If you have just an actual water bottle, that's fine. Just bring some kind of form of water. That way you don't dehydrate because it's Atlanta and it's June. Well, it would if you go to Atlanta or if you go to Bledsoe, Texas, or West even, you're gonna need water. But the ones that we go to, that we're closest to, except for my brother's going to Bledsoe, Texas next week. But the ones that we typically just go to are Atlanta. That's the ones that we're closest to. So it's really hot. Middle of the year in Atlanta, and it's hot. So, but anyway, bring some form of water. It's always smart to have water with you. Number three. Now, this one might be the most important, at least second important, or third important. Probably why it's at number three in my brain. Shoes. Make sure you have the right shoes. I should have said, make sure you bring shoes. But make sure you have the right shoes. So, me and my brother on our first trip down, we were like, yeah, I'm going to carry every knife I've got in my pocket, and that's fine. That didn't weigh us down and made our feet hurt or nothing. We're going to wear our boots. And, we wore, he's got a pair of Red Wings and I got a pair of Carolinas, just 8-inch lace up boots. And that's what we wore. And you're standing on concrete all day. Your feet will hurt. It will be uncomfortable. You might think you look cool, and you probably will. And you'll probably feel cool for at least an hour, and then your feet will be done. Um, so I do recommend bringing at least some form of tennis shoes or like Crocs even, or Hey Dudes even, something, something just to give your feet better comfort other than just boots. Because, like I said, it's just a concrete pad with just a thin layer of carpet rolled over where you're walking. So we had our boots on for, let's see, the first day we got there, waiting in line. We got there, I think it starts at 11. We got in there at like 12. And by the time we ate lunch out in the truck, which that's another little tip, bonus tip. If you want to, you can bring your own food, save some money, but that's just personal preference. But when we went out to the truck and ate lunch, let's see, we ate lunch at around 2 o'clock. So 11 o'clock is when the show starts. We got in at 12. After 2 hours of walking around and just in awe of how awesome Blade Show is, after 2 hours, our feet were killing us so bad that we ripped our boots off. We were like, we were just sitting there on the truck bed, with the tailgate down. We were just sitting there like, man, our feet's killing us. And we only brought Crocs for around the hotel and if through the pool and things like that. So that's what we wore. We just wore our Crocs back in there, and that did fine. But that's all we had. So definitely bring the right shoes because that will make or break the trip. And what am I on, number 4 now or number 5? 4. So number 4, I would say this one's kind of this is kind of a hit or miss. But a chair. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would you bring a chair? So here, let me explain. You can go to Walmart and you can buy a camping chair that it packs up into a little bag about this big, and you can throw it in your backpack and it will fit. The reason why me and my brother did that is because I've got one of his knives in my pocket. Ben Peterson from NAFS. This is a Lander 1. But he said on the second day of Blade Show, if you get there at 9 a.m. when the doors open, if you get there, I'll have a special Lander 2. So this is the Lander 1, as you can see. So it's the big brother to this knife, a Lander 2. I made 22 special ones with a $2 bill sign engraved on the knife. I only made 22 of them. If you can get there, first come, first serve, you have to buy the knife with a $2 bill. Not 2 ones, just a $2 bill. And that's what he said, and we were like, okay. We're like, man, only 22, first come, first serve, 9 a.m. Like, man, we're going to have to get there early to be able to do that. And we didn't want to stand around waiting in line. So we brought those chairs with us, and we just popped them out, unfold them, and put the chair on it, and you just sit down. And it was quite comfortable because we got there at 6 a.m. We had to wake up at 5 something, get ready, get the Uber to go from our hotel to the Blade Show Arena, to the Cobb Gallery. And we popped our chairs out, sat down for a couple hours, and it was fun. It was enjoyable. It wasn't unbearable. It wasn't, uncomfortable to sit there for that long. It wasn't like it was, man, I wish I had a better seat. Yeah, it might have been nice to have a recliner there with you, but it was completely fine. So I definitely recommend doing that. Lastly, definitely not least though, have a budget. A detailed budget is better than just a regular no budget, I guess you could say. But definitely have a budget because you're going to want to spend every dime of money that you have because Blade Show is so awesome. And this is kind of going to swing back to what I was talking about earlier with my brother and his backpack with it being so heavy. It's because he buys Christmas gifts there. So he buys a lot of knives. So if you want to buy Christmas gifts, you're going to have to incorporate that into your budget, or you should. I spent, I think it was around $160 at my first Blade Show, and I got 2 knives, and that was it. So I would definitely recommend having a budget. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but sorry for that. And then just make sure you're extra detailed with it. That's all I'm going to say. The more detailed, the better. But anyway, that's just a few Blade Show tips that I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.